Okay, let's talk about la tilde diacrítica. You may also have heard it referred to as el acento diacrítico. Same thing, but in this video I will call it la tilde diacrítica. We need to talk about four different aspects. Palabras monosílabas, or monosyllabic words. Otros homógrafos, special homographs. Palabras de pregunta y exclamación. These are special words that we use for exclamations and questions. And then pronombres demonstrativos, which is simply demonstrative pronouns. I'll explain what all those are in turn. But I want to make one point. All of this serves to remove ambiguity. You know how in English we complain a lot how the spelling is so difficult. Spanish learners tend to complain about these extra rules. So you kind of have to pick one or the other. Do you want to have a system that allows multiple ways to spell one thing, or do you want to have a system where there's only one way to read each thing, and when you read the word you know what it means? So that's really what the point of this tilde diacrítica is, to make sure that we understand what the meaning of this is. Diacrítica meaning distinguishing between two meanings. So let me show you, give you an example of this. This in English. We have different words in English that these are called they're homographs because they're written the same way. Homonyms are two words that sound the same. A homograph is two words that are written the same. So we know that there's this word can and this word can. Can, I'm thinking of the actual can of a drink, a can of soda, for example. Can is also used as an auxiliary, like I can speak Spanish. Have is another auxiliary. For example, I have seen the movie, or have you finished your homework? This kind of thing. But have is also the main verb, like I have time, or I have 3 brothers, this kind of thing. Do, likewise, can be an auxiliary, like do you like, or where do you sleep, this kind of thing. It also can be a main verb, like I do my homework, or I need to do my hair, this kind of thing. So picture, what if we did this? What if we, in English, were to put an accent mark on these words so that you would know that that's what that is. Can, the auxiliary can, have, and do never have an accent mark, and can and have and do have this tilde diacrítica. This would allow us to then see a sentence like this one. Have you seen what it can do? Have you seen what it can do? And we could put accent marks on it like this. No, sorry. Can do. No, sorry. Can do. Do is the main verb here. Can is an auxiliary. Can do. And have is an auxiliary. Have seen. So this is one example. Do you prefer soda in a can or in a bottle? Here's the word do again, but this is a different usage. So that would be without the tilde. And can, the can, an actual physical object, would have the accent mark. And what do you have here? Have is the main verb, so that would have an accent mark. Okay, we don't need to do this in English. I'm not proposing that we change things. I'm just showing that the same exact sounding word can be ambiguous, and Spanish differentiates between those two things. Think about can and can. So here we have a list. There are really only 8 different palabras monosyllabic words that we need to worry about. Here's the first 4. I've given the English translation because I think that's the easiest way to differentiate between these. We have the word de, meaning of, like casa de Pablo, and de meaning give, as in I want you to give me something, or I want him to give me something. Quiero que él me dé algo. We have el, meaning the, and el, meaning he. Mas, meaning but. We hardly ever use this. It's more of a literary and archaic form, and the one that you will use all the time is this one, mas, meaning more. Mi, like mi casa, and mi, like a mí me gusta, or dámelo a mí, give it to me. And then we have these first four here. Se meaning reflexive, like como se llama, or that kind of thing. And then se meaning I know. Se, like yo no sé. Yo no sé cómo se llama. I don't know what his name is. Yo no sé cómo se llama. Si meaning if, and si meaning yes. Te meaning to you, and te meaning the drink tea. Tu meaning your, and tu meaning you. Like tú vives en tu casa. You live in your house. Okay? So these are the 8, these blue ones that we have to just memorize. De, él, más, mi, se, ti, te, tú. This meaning always has no accent mark on it, and this meaning always does have the tilde diacrítica. Okay? Now, a couple other words that are special. These are the otros homógrafos. Are aún and aún. When it means even, we don't put an accent mark on it. When it means still, we do put an accent mark on it. Todavía. I remember like todavía. If you can substitute the word todavía in the same position, then you will have an accent mark on it, just like in the word todavía. That's how I remember it. Solo, meaning alone, and solo, meaning only or solamente. If it means solamente, you put the tilde on it. I remember it like this. If it means alone, you leave it alone. Okay? To show a little bit, an example of that last one, you could have the sentence like this. Me quedé solo con mi familia. No question. Me quedé solo con mi familia. This means I was alone. I ended up alone with my family. I ended up alone with my family. But if you mark it, now it means I stayed only with my family. I stayed only with my family. Me quedé solo con mi familia. Or me quedé solo con mi familia. There's two different meanings there. Alright, let's move on. Let's talk now about these palabras de pregunta and palabras de exclamación. This one is probably the easiest to remember. If it's a question word, always, 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 always put a tilde on it. So we have the word que, we have the word quién, we have the word cuando. Doesn't matter. You always put it, and keep in mind the spelling rules. We couldn't put it on the u because the u has no sound, and we couldn't put it on the e because that is a weak vowel. So que, quién, cuando. Likewise, if it is an exclamation, que. For example, if you want to say like, that's sick, you would say, que brutal. This kind of thing. Likewise, a more subtle usage of this is in the middle of a sentence. For example, if you want to say I don't know how you do that, you'd say no sé cómo haces eso. I don't know how you do that. No sé cómo haces eso. And the reason is that this cómo comes from the question ¿cómo? Oops, not double. ¿Cómo? Right? There's another meaning of ¿cómo, which is how, meaning as. Like, me gusta cómo lo haces. I like how you do that. I like how you do that. Is a different meaning from I don't know how you do that. Okay? One more example of the ambiguity would be this sentence here. Me gustaría saber cuándo sirven la comida? Well, this, as it's written, means I would like to know when they serve the food. Meaning, when they serve the food, then I would like to know about something else, apparently. But if you're trying to say, I would like to know when the food will be served, then you would say, me gustaría saber cuándo sirven la comida. Me gustaría saber cuándo sirven la comida is different from me gustaría saber cuándo sirven la comida. This means don't tell me yet, because I want to know when they serve the food. This is, I want to know when the food will be served, or I want to know when the food is served. Me gustaría saber cuándo sirven la comida. Okay? That takes care of this. Last thing, we're almost done. Aren't you excited? Yay! Is pronombres demonstrativos. Basically, if the word means this one, you'll put an accent on it, or that one, you'll put an accent on it. An example. Esa es mi mamá. Does that mean that? Actually, that's a little bit confusing, but esa es mi mamá means that one is my mother. So, esa es mi mamá. I can think of a better example then. No me gusta ese. No me gusta ese traje. Okay? So, no me gusta ese means I don't like that one. I don't like that one. So you would have to put an accent mark on it here. No me gusta ese traje does not need an accent mark because it means this. I mean that. I don't like that dress. I don't like that one. I don't like that dress. No me gusta ese. No me gusta ese traje. Okay, it's a subtle difference, but in Spanish we differentiate between the two. And again, this allows for less ambiguity. If you see a word, you know not just what it sounds like, but also what it means. Okay, I think we got through all four things. So monosílabas is words like sí and sí, or tú and tú. Otros homógrafos, we talked about aún and solo. Question words and exclamations, we talked about quién, cuándo, and also embedded in a sentence, such as no sé cuándo llegan. And then pronombres demostrativos, this is like aquel, or ese, or este, or esos, this kind of thing. Okay, thanks.